own garden, but I would not want to have to dig a 6-foot deep hole in the middle of the Texas desert. Well, when Stanley Yelnats IV is accused of a crime that he didn't commit, he's sent off to Camp Green Lake, where that's exactly what they have to do every day. His family says that it's all because of his no good, dirty, rotten, pig-stealing great-great-grandfather, who got cursed by a gypsy. Well, now that Stanley's at Camp Green Lake, he has to dig a 6-foot deep hole every day because the warden is looking for something. Something to do with Kissing Kate Bartlow, the nice teacher turned nasty outlaw who kills every man that she ever robs. What does this story have to do with Stanley? Well, his great-grandfather was robbed by Kissing Kate Bartlow. Now, if you want to know how these three stories all come together, and if Stanley ever gets cured of his family curse and gets out of Camp Green Lake, then you should read Holes by Louis Sachar.
The Big Game. It's a very interesting book that talks about a young boy named Danny that has to overcome challenges in his life. He finds himself teaming up with an unlikely ally that will decide whether or not he passes the grade or not. He's a very good athletic player, but also a very bad student. 2 weeks before the game, tragedy struck, and you'll have to find out whether or not Danny passes the grade and earns his freedom and plays in the game by reading The Big Game by Tim Green.
This book kind of gave me the chills while I was reading it. The main character of this book is a teenage girl called Ivy Jensen. The problem of this book is that Ivy's parents were killed and she keeps having dreams of an elf killer who calls her princess. She wants to figure out if the elf killer who's in her dreams is the one who killed her parents. I say that the people who like mystery books or horror books would really enjoy this one. I like this book because instead of it being a boring horror or mystery book, this book gave me chills because of the way they described things in the book. Also, the title of this book is Return to the Dark House. The author is Lori Farias Stolars. Thank you.
Have you ever wondered how important it is to be part of a minority and how the experiences are too? Justice McAllister is a new student at Brazelton Prep, and he struggles with being part of a minority and having a difficult family background. One day, he gets arrested for a crime based on race. He then starts writing and replying to letters of Dr. Martin Luther King, serving him as therapy for the traumatic experiences that he has been through. If you like realistic fiction books, then you might be interested in this one. I really liked it because I can reflect on how important it is to be part of a minority, and I can also relate to his feelings and his mindset. Dear Martin by Nick Stone is truly a great and wonderful book.
Hey, if you like reading the Dire and Wimpy Kid book series but don't want to wait for more books, then I have a perfect solution for you. If you want a book that's friendly and charming, then Diary of an Awesome Friendly Kid is the right book for you. Get ready to see the Wimpy Kid world in a new way. Riley made a book exactly like his friend Greg. Even though this book is all about him, he includes his friend Greg in some of his stories. I hope you'll be interested in reading this and enjoying the book as I did.
Have you ever dreamed of being a kid to a rich family that lives in New York? Yeah, that's exactly the life that Lizzie leads. But one day she goes out and with a date with a person she found on Tinder. She is 16 years old, which is way underage for anybody on Tinder. And she meets this guy who thinks she is old enough to have drinks. Later that evening, when she wants to get driven home by this man, she gets arrested for swerving and underage drinking. Later that next day, her parents sent her to a boot camp, which she is not ready for at all, and neither is her IBS. If you want to find out more, read Outward Blonde by Trish Cook.
This is an awesome book. Believe it.
Naruto is easygoing. Naruto lives by his word. He never gives up no matter how hard the situation is. Naruto has a big heart. He would give his life to save anyone. During Volume 1, Naruto would get in trouble to get attention. He is a good kid, but the people of Konoha view him as a demon fox that's locked inside of him. The demon fox is an evil entity that attacked Konoha years ago and was sealed in a baby boy. Even though people give up on Naruto and treat him as a demon fox, he never gives up on himself. Naruto will never give up. Believe it. Author Masashi Kishimoto. The title Naruto Volume 1 Uzumaki Naruto.
What is the point of having a voice if you're gonna be silent in these moments you shouldn't be? 16-year-old Star Carter lives between these two types of worlds. The first world is this poor neighborhood in which she lives in and a fancy suburban prep school in which she attends. She lives a very unbalanced life, and it all gets shattered down when this fatal shooting happened to her childhood best friend. I personally will recommend this book to anybody who likes rights and believes that everybody should be treated equally. I personally love this book because it is bringing awareness to the world with discrimination and racism problems. The author of this book the title of this book is The Hate You Give, and the author is Andy Thomas.
My book is about Mike Mudlock, the fifth vital. So the main character is Mike Mudlock, Riley J. Ford. The problem is that he dealt with addiction for many, many years, and he thought there wouldn't be a way out, but eventually there is a way out. And he wants to share the story so people can see that there is possible and you can get help. I would recommend this book to people who are in a situation that are bad and it could get good. I especially like this book because it's really funny. It has a lot of comedy, and yeah, it's good. So the title of it is The Fifth Vital. You can find it on Amazon.
Percy Jackson is a young boy who is not very good at school. He's actually about to get kicked out of it again. But little does he know that all the recent troubles that have been occurring are because he's a half-blood. He is half god and he is half mortal. All of this comes to a head one day when he and his mother are attacked on the side of the road by a minotaur. His best friend Grover, a satyr, has to come along and save him and take him to Camp Half-Blood. At Camp Half-Blood, he finds other people like him who have a godly parent and a moral parent. His safe refuge there has been destroyed as well, however, because someone has sealed Zeus's lightning bolt, and everyone is accusing Percy of being the one that does it. He must travel across the United States with his best friend Grover and his new friend Annabeth, a daughter of Athena, in order to clear his name. It's a little bit more tricky than that, however, because there are gods and monsters at every turn trying to make sure that he does not find Zeus's lightning bolt, and there's darker forces at play that are trying to capture the lightning bolt itself. Not only is it packed full of action and adventure and teaches Greek mythology in an interesting way, it is also very humorously written. Let's take a look at some of the chapter titles, shall we? We have here, I accidentally vaporized my pre-algebra teacher.